Algebra 1 kids, this is Dr. Callahan with week 6 Thursday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video to go ahead and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up log. Okay, let's go ahead and make the assignment for today for algebra. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Algebra 1, Assignment, Create, and this is going to be for week 6, Thursday, Algebra 1, Semester 2, Factoring trinomials, and other techniques. Your instruction today is to make sure that you go ahead and watch the video in its entirety, upload your work, and make sure you check in with me by 8:40 in the morning. Your assignment is due by 3 p.m. today, but make sure you check in with me when it comes to your attendance, definitely by 3 p.m. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So looking at this part right here, this is the breakdown for today's lesson. And we're going to go ahead and get started with your guided notes. Your guided notes look like this. And we're going to focus in on the last 2 pages of your guided notes in itself, specifically numbers 1 to 20. And we're going to try to go ahead and work on those specific questions, okay? All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and get started with this then. All right, take a look at some of the questions right there. That's 1 to 20. Look at the differences in the way that they are written when it comes to the trinomials. And think of the different ways that you're going to be using this. Okay, let's go ahead and go over a few examples. Let's start off with something. Let's go ahead and start off with something that's not too difficult. Let's go ahead and start off with number 1. All right, with question number 1, you see that there is a number that is in front. Actually, that one's not a very easy one to tell you right now. Let's actually, I'm trying to think here. Let's start off with number 6, okay? With number 6, you have 4. You multiply the 25, which gives you 100. So here is my table. 100, your middle number is -20. So you're going to go ahead and list all of the numbers that gives you a positive 100, but you also need to include negative numbers. So rather than doing -1 and a -100, I mean, you know that that's not going to add to -20. So you don't need to list all the possibilities. Think of some of the possibilities that will give you that. I know that I could do a 25 and a 4. I know I can do a -5 and a 20. I know I can do a 10 and a 10. And I know you could do a -1 and a -100. So out of the possibilities here, which one here adds up to a -20? Yeah, you guessed it. That's the one right there. But that is your temporary answer. So I have x minus 10, x minus 10. Because I went ahead and multiplied the 4, opposite of that will be to divide by 4. So I will have to divide 4 on both of these numbers. Going back to 4th grade math, you know you can reduce this to a 5 over 2. But 2 doesn't go into 5, so you're just going to write it on the side. So then for number 6, your answer is going to be 2x minus 5. And because there's 2 of them, you just put squared. So 6, done. Let's go ahead and try another one. Let's go ahead and take a look at question number 3. With number 3, this is an interesting one because notice that the 25 and the 9 are perfect squares. So if you square root them, just remember when you set this up for number 3, you're going to have 2 parentheses. One is a positive, one is a negative. And you have an x and an x. Now, square root of 25 is a 5. Square root of 9 is a 3. And that is your answer. 5x plus 3, 5x minus 3. Let's go ahead and give number 9 a try. Number 9 is very similar to this one. And let me go ahead and modify it so I have this included with number 9. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So 9 to 16. Want to make sure I include that. Okay, so for number 9, looking at this here where there's 2 of them and you recognize that there is actually perfect squares, you want to make sure you create the 2 parentheses. One's a plus, one's a minus. And it's a letter M, so I'm going to put the M right here. And then you're going to go and ask yourself, what's the square root of 4? Square root of 25. And that's a 4. I'm sorry, square root of 4 is a 2. Square root of 25 is a 5. And that is your answer. Okay, now that I went ahead and did that for you guys, go ahead and practice that with number 11, 12, 5, 8, 25. So you could pick any of those that you would like. So pause the video and answer them. Okay, so then for number 5, 4n minus 1, 4n plus 1. For number 4, 5x minus 4, 5x plus 4. For number 8, 5a minus 2, 5a plus 2. And for number 12, 2p minus 3, 2p plus 3. Okay, let's try another one. So now that we've done with all the special ones, let's try some of the ones that are more complicated, like the factoring ones, with the numbers that's going to have a coefficient of greater than 1. So let's take a look at, oh my goodness, all of these look really, really kind of crazy, huh? Let's try number 7. For number 7, your first number is actually pretty simple. There is no first number besides 1. So you're going to create your little chart. Last number is 1, middle number is -2. You're going to have to use negative numbers. So think about the factors that gives you a positive 1 with negative numbers. But when you add it together, it gives you -2. And there's really just one option. So your answer for number 7 is going to be r minus 1, r minus 1. Now let's go ahead and try number 10. Well, number 10, notice how these two are perfect squares, because remember your perfect squares are 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. So for number 10, you have an a. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. If you look at the middle number right here, it's a -24. So I'm going to put a minus and a minus, because 4 times 3 is a -12. 4 times 3 is a -12. -12 minus 12 is a -24. So notice that they're the same signs. And similarly, for like number 13, for example, you can try that one as well. For number 13, you're going to have 100 in. Actually, it wouldn't work with 100 in. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm going to skip number 13. Don't worry about that one. Well, actually, no, I think I could probably do that. Okay, let's just try it. Let's go for it. So 1,000 times 10 is going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to give you 10,000. So my last number is a 10, but my first number is 10,000. So what if I try -100 and 100? I'm sorry, your last number is going to give me -200. So this will actually work. So for number 13, you'll have -100 in. You'll have, hold on a second, let me get rid of this one here. In minus 100, in minus 100. But actually, that's not going to work. Let's see here. How do I want to proceed with this? Actually, we're just going to skip this one. Don't bother with it. So we're not going to worry about that, although I haven't taught you guys this technique yet. But if you look at the 1,210, you can actually take out a 10, which will give you 100 n squared minus 20 n plus 1. So then when you look at it this way, you can actually have a 10n minus 1 minus 1, which will actually, when you FOIL it out, will give you this answer. So this right here will be your answer for that. All right, you guys, what I'm going to have you guys do next is go ahead and practice the rest of these on your own. And then for your exit ticket today, go ahead and create the meme with Drake. And you can just give me something that he will say that is math related. All right, as always, I hope you have a wonderful week and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.